So that's why all the blocking, all the game playing, all the manipulation before and after, and all the manipulating and false reports afterwards to, just like I said they were doing, to run out the clock. To file a lawsuit against Mary, to sue her for what she did to my kids. Statute of limitation is 3 years from the date of the death. So no wonder they were battling me all the way up until 2023. Because statute of limitation technically would have ended in 2022. When were they attacking me? The very end of 2022. When did they stop? 2023. Isn't that funny? I don't know if people are seeing my videos or not. I don't know if YouTube is banning me. They've been messing with my account here lately. I guess they don't like my language on here. It's just the way I talk. Especially when I'm being serious or upset, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'll probably get in trouble for God for talking like that. But then again, I might not. Who knows yet? Point is, everything shows. Everything they did. Everything they did. Shows planning. Shows deliberate messing with the whole outturn of everything to keep it from getting them in trouble. Complete manipulation of the whole thing. Manipulated community, manipulated friends and family. I mean, has anybody seen the video of what my son Talon and Kirsten and David are talking about? Answer me a question. I know a lot of people were running their mouth saying that I coerced it. If I coerced it, wouldn't I be the one responsible for the act that hurt them? Because how am I getting these people to actually do what they're saying if I'm making my kids say this? I'm not the one who did it. I mean, is everybody missing that factor? They're also missing the factor that how did these kids know? If it wasn't planned, how did they know? Also, why does the traffic pattern show intentional? That the driver was coherent all the way up until impact. Anybody that drives a vehicle at night knows that they can see a great distance on the road with their headlights, especially when it's flat or even kind of a raise of a hill. You can still see the surface of the road. So, doesn't explain the traffic pattern. And that right there would show that the police lied, even though they have a video camera pointed at the whole incident. You can see both lanes clearly because of both headlights of the vehicle before they connect. Even the other driver tried to tell me that he couldn't see the road even though he had his headlights on. Buddy, how were you driving down the road then? You see what I mean? None of this makes any sense. None of it. None of the kids were buckled in. Now we're going by Gen X rules. Yes, I know it wasn't the law back then, but it is now. So is speeding. They were speeding. They weren't just doing 5 over. And I know a lot of people speed on that road. I never said that. This involved the death of 4 people. It's a little bit different now, isn't it? The Wawa, where they airlifted them at, is not even a minute up the road. It only took the cops 2 minutes to show up. And that's because they normally sit there. That's where they sit. I know that for a fact. That was one of my favorite Wawas. Till I found out my kids were airlifted out of the back of it. I should have broke that tape that day, but I would have got arrested right there on the spot. And then Tiff would have taken my truck. And I don't even know what that would have opened up, because I promise you, she deliberately diverted me away from the area. And how did she know exactly where the accident was when I picked her up? She did. She made me go the other way around. And if anybody would look up that area, you can see what I'm talking about. You can go out the 40 down and go the back way to Stony Chase, and we would have ran right into the accident before we got there. We would have seen all the commotion, but no, she deliberately took me around 272 Lums Road and then up Bouchelle, because Mechanics Valley hooks to Bouchelle, and it kind of turns off. Well, I think it ends there, and Bouchelle kind of loops around the baseball field and up towards Stony Chase. But anyway, she took me out of Timberbrook, up 272, down Lums, and then up Bouchelle towards her mom's. She freaked out. She would not let me go any other way. I was headed down the other way. If you look at, I think it's Sizemore, it comes out on 40, you know. She was up on the first row, which is closest to the first entrance of Timberbrook. And she made me turn around and go back out the first entrance, up 272, and down Lums. So, I mean, I don't know. I could have went out 272 way and right to, the turn lane and went around. But that's just the way I was headed while I was talking to her, because I completely missed the left to go out while we were talking about, what was going on. And I still don't understand how they were off work so early. Because the store doesn't close until 10. And she had called me just before 9:30. And they said that the accident happened at 9:30. So how are you calling me like 3 to 4 minutes before it happened? I mean, her mom's house is not that far. Her mom's house is maybe 5 minutes from hers on the back roads. Yeah, you just go down Bouchelle, it turns into Mechanics Valley, you hit Route 40, go in the back entrance, and then go around to her. I guess that's the way her mom was headed. Which that doesn't make sense either, because Tiff lives at the front entrance. That would be, she would have to go around the whole development to get up there. But whatever, she can go any way she wants. But it's just weird that all took place. Manipulated me in front of the funeral home the day we're viewing our kids laid out on at the funeral home. Literally. I'm telling you guys, there's so much stuff messed up with this situation. I'm not playing. Anyone out there that can help me with this, help me. And there's got to be somebody. I don't care. I'll give you whatever you want. Yeah, I know. I got to get my life back. I'm trying. I got a lot of people that don't want the truth out, including the sheriff's office, because the kids told them. How many times I got to say that? They told them. They even told the school. They even told their pastor. How does this? I don't get it. She had them manipulated that much, thinking I was a certain type of person? All because, what, my other girlfriend's doing the same stuff? Has everybody noticed something? Of course, they give them the benefit of the doubt and believe that I'm the problem. Why? Because I'm reacting to their abuse? I don't, I've never called cops for stuff. I was taught that you don't do that, you handle it. But no, I guess that makes me look even more. I never thought it would look like that. But that's, I mean, I, another catch 22. Handle it yourself, you're a criminal. Tell the cops you're a snitch. Well, I guess for these situations it wouldn't have been that way. I don't really care anymore what people think, but back then, you know, I did. That's probably why I got all mixed up. But I need to straighten it out. I will fully admit to anything I did wrong, and I'll do that right now. Raising my voice? Yes. Was it wrong for the situation? Raising my voice, probably, because everything going on was a very big shock, and I couldn't believe people were doing it. So, yeah, the volume of my voice at certain times might have been a little wrong. But what I was saying and what I was doing was not wrong. I never got physical. I never did anything. I did hit a door, and I did hit a fridge. That was not. The one was around Jen, but that's because she was on the floor holding the door shut. I was trying to leave. She had gotten me fired from Six Flags. I was a foreman because she didn't want me doing flooring anymore. Imagine that. Yeah, it's long hours, it's hard work, and they act like I abandoned them. No, you just won't let me work and you get used to me being around, and then when I go to work for really hard to make up for everything that we've lost, it's, oh, well, you're never around. Well, somebody's got to do it. Blue collar, you know what I'm talking about. If you sit down or even take a couple days off, it's like you took a couple months off. If you take a couple months off, you might as well consider that about the equivalent damage of a couple years. And this is what these girls were doing. And if I didn't sit down, they would do something. They would cause a scene, either with the kids or go out and lie. I mean, when I was tickling my nephew on a couch and Jen was sitting on the side of me, he was here. I was tickling him like this, and you see how my arm is like this? She was behind me messing with me. So I was tickling him, and I was tickling my arm like this, and I was tickling him, and I went to go like this, and she went behind me, and my elbow hit her directly in the bridge of her nose. Okay? And because I had my nephew and all that there, she calls her dad to come take her to the hospital. I was going to take her. Next thing I know, they're telling them that I did it on purpose. Just like when I hit the door and broke my hand. When my buddy Kevin took me to the hospital to get my cast, or, to get it checked out, she acts like she's passed out in the back seat. I mean, she's talking to us fine and yelling at me until we pull into the emergency loop right there at Elkton. And I was getting ready to get out of the car, and Kevin's like, well, she's passed out. I said, what do you mean she's passed out? She was just talking to us. He said, oh, no, but I guess we need, he freaks out. Yeah, he's a little slow, but he was a volunteer firefighter and all that, and I guess he took it literal. But I'm putting things together like, how did you just pass out? Then I found out why. She tried to act like I hit her. Okay, she has no marks on her, but she's going to pass out. She has nothing wrong with her. I did hit the door, yes. I'm not going to lie. I hit the door. That's what broke my hand. Did I tell the nurse that, I tripped and hit my... Yeah, I did. The reason why I told her that is because she was looking at me, and if I would have told her I punched the door, she wasn't going to believe any story I said. But, I mean, yes, I did get mad and hit a door. But that was it. And like I said, the other one, I punched the fridge. That was at Cedar Hill with Tiffany, after I had chased my cousin out of my house. There was nobody around. Tiff was upstairs, kids were asleep, nobody seen it. And yes, it broke the fridge. I had to get a new one. Also broke my hand. I drove myself to the hospital, got it wrapped up, kept it on for about 6 weeks. My uncle called and said that he needed some help, so I cut that fricker off and went back to work. You know how it feels